All right, we have a Lowrance Elite 12 Ti in the shop today. Customer complaint is the left side of the screen is darker than the right side. It just started this last trip out. Okay. So we'll see if they're talking about backlight here, or if they're referring to maybe possibly a bad display. Let's see. We should know right off the bat if this is going to be a backlight issue or not. Just plug in our power here. Well, display itself, the LCD looks okay. I don't see any dark spots. Let's see once this thing fully boots. Looks like it might be a backlight issue. Maybe some of the LEDs on the backlight are out, possibly. Yeah, it's definitely backlight. It's kind of hard to see, but the left side, which is this side right here, is darker than the right side. Yeah, you can see that. Definitely. Yeah, 100% that's a backlight issue, so we're going to get this thing torn apart and see what's going on with the backlight. Alright, we're back. So just a visual inspection on the board. Everything looks okay. I don't see anything burnt up or anything obvious, so we're just going to start disassembling here. Backlight right here. Normally, if something was burnt up on the board, the backlight would just not work at all. It wouldn't be like this case where there's a dim section. This issue is definitely either wiring on this side right here. I've seen it where the wires have been corroded off actually. I don't see that. Everything looks clean in here. I don't see any water damage, no corrosion. So most likely, some of this LED strip is out. So we're gonna have to take the board off. We're gonna take the display out. It's nice on the Elite 12s. It's easy to take out. You take out all the screws, it pops right out. And then the plastic separates from the digitizer and the LCD display. The LCD display and the digitizer are fused, they're sealed. You can unseal them, I've done that in the past, but they're one piece, essentially. There's going to be a metal shield around that, and that's where the backlight strip is. The backlight strip is actually right here, between the shield and the display. And the way it works is the LED strip shines in the glass of the display, and that illuminates the whole display. So we're going to get to it here, take the board off, the main board. We'll do a quick visual inspection underneath, but I'm sure everything's fine. Then we'll start taking the display cover off, and we'll see where we're at. So the backlight section of the board, the board is like this, connectors facing you, flip the board. This is the backlight section right here. Everything looks fine, so we're gonna keep going, chugging along here, and remove the display cover. Okay, so I just wanted to mention here, we were just probing around with our ohm meter, and if the connector is facing you like this, so the positive leads or the red wires are facing downward, I just for my own purposes, I labeled this bottom red wire P1 as positive 1, the second next to it P2, positive 2, and then G1, G2, G3, G4 as ground 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like it's wired like this. P1 closest to me is the left side of this LED. Okay. And then G1 starts all the way to the right back here. G2, and then P2, that second positive wire in, is right here. Because the way the board controls these LEDs is in sections. So it's supplying power, a positive side here and 2 grounds, positive side here and 2 grounds. So it looks like it's maybe supplying it with 4 internal supplies. Okay. So before we go any further, first thing I want to do is see what kind of voltage is coming out of this backlight connector. Then that will determine how we're going to configure our backlight strip. So we have it plugged back into the board real fast. So using my labeling like before, this would be P1, next in line P2, and then okay, and that's from this connector. So what I'm going to do is let's crank this up to 12 volts. Okay. Okay. Okay, what it looks like to me is on the 12 Elite TI, this is the switch assembly connector here, and it looks to me like the top 2 pins are power. And they are. So on this unit, on this connector, if the main connectors are facing you, the top 2, power. Good. Okay, let's check some voltages here. Let's try something. Let's plug this guy in, and let's see if we can get some backlight working here. This is kind of strange. Look at that. Well, so we can see what's going on. Look. So we do not need to do a full custom backlight on this guy here. We do notice that from P1 to G4 is out. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 LEDs out. So let's figure out why. Maybe G4 is bad? Maybe it's just a bad connection on G4? I don't know. Let's see. Let's take our voltage measurements now. I think we're going to see something different here. Yeah, there we go. Need to test it with a load. Look at that. Look at that. But look at that. G4 is nothing. So let's figure out what's going on here. So there's no load on G4. Okay. Could be the wiring. Well, let's kill this. Let's take this out. Move the board aside. Move our little paper here. G4. G4. Get that paper back. Let's see which wire G4 is. So G4 is the last wire here. Okay. Last wire. Let's get some of this junk out of here. I'm wondering. Now we did test. Let's use this guy, make it a little easier. So, excuse me. So we did test continuity, right? And that's how we figured out all these points. So G4 is the last one, right? Is it? Yeah, G4. G4. Yeah, so we have continuity. P1, we have continuity because we tested that too. Right? Yeah. So one of these LEDs has to be bad. That's what I'm thinking. Well, what's a good LED read? Okay. Not sure what the polarity of these LEDs are. I guess we're going to find out now. Okay, 0.7. 0.7. That's right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. Yep. Nothing. Look at that. Well, you can't see, I guess. That helps. So we get 0.7, right? And we know like one of these good LEDs, 0.7 good. 0.7. 0.7, that's good. 0.7 is great. Yes. Look at that. The second to last LED. Nothing. It's open. See, normally diodes, they short closed, you know. When they burn up, they short, but look at that. Same. Let's pop these two off. Pop these two LEDs off, and because we know they're bad, right? So let's get them out of there. Okay, we're going to do a quick test here. Okay, so look at that. Fixed. Job done. So in this case, our driver chip was okay. A majority of the LEDs were okay, so we had to kind of figure out which ones were bad. We replaced them. We're good to go, guys. It's another one fixed. This was a 12 Elite Ti. All right, we're gonna get this thing put back together, and okay, so we're back together. Let's see if this thing is good to go. So we tested it when everything was disassembled. We booted the board by shortening them 2 pins. Farthest away from the large connectors, the 2 on the side. Right about 12 volts. Plug this guy in here. It's a little loose. Let's tighten this up. Let's grab our little stand here. You probably can't see that too well, but 3, 2. That looks perfect. That looks really, really good. Look at that. No dim spots. The LO, I believe, before was very dim. This thing is super crisp now. Look at that. Perfect. No dim spots. Nice and crisp. Everything is uniform. Nothing is brighter. No spots are brighter than any other spots. Everything is perfectly diffused. So awesome. We're looking super good here. I'm sure the customer is going to be very excited. And this is actually full brightness, so look at that. Beautiful. Bring that down a little. That's super bright. We're good. All right. If you have any electronic devices, we obviously do a lot of fish finders, which we love working on. But we work on anything electronic. We also work on projects. We've done several projects for people in the past, so don't feel the project is too big or too small. If it's something, if it's something you've been meaning to get done, maybe an idea you had, an invention or something, we're open to kind of neat, cool stuff like that. Of course, we're also, perfectly happy repairing fish finders and laptops and tablets. So whatever you got, give us a try. You can go to www.rudolphrepairs.com. If you're on a phone, you'll see 3 dashes. Click it. Click Mail-in Repairs. If you're on a computer, you'll see on the top menu Mail-in Repairs.